Hello, my name is Martin Cowen, and I am interested in teaching advanced high school students ancient Greek, starting with lesson number 1. I'm doing these videos in order to establish my bona fides in respect to that task, and I hope you enjoy them. This is the second of 2 videos. We have done the first paragraph of the first section of reading Greek, and now we're going to do the second paragraph. So this is Learning Ancient Greek with Martin Cowen. And as I've indicated, we're using the book Reading Greek, Text and Vocabulary. There are a number of parts of this learning tool. It is published by the Joint Association of Classical Teachers, Greek course, first edition 1978, second edition 2007. And I'm recommending to those who listen to me on this YouTube video, and also for my class students when we form the class in the Atlanta, Georgia area, that we buy all the materials, including and most especially this text and the CD that accompanies it. So this is the second paragraph in the first section of reading Greek in their Greek section. Tomenum pleon plei, hode zenotemis pros tein again blepe, ti hora ozonotemis, ho zotemis, hora tein te acropolin kai ton partenona, epeta de Diciopolis kai ho Kubernetes pros tein gain blepusen, ti horosin ho Diciopolis kai ho Kubernetes, kai ho Diciopolis kai ho Kubernetes tein te acropolin horosi kai ton partenona, exyphnes hoda Diciopolis kai o Kubernetes sophon acousin. All right, so in the previous video we looked at the first paragraph and we broke it up into parts. We first started with prepositional phrases, then we did noun phrases and their verbs, and we're going to do the same thing here. So the first prepositional phrase in this section is prostein gain. So we have tomenun ploion plei, hoda zenotemis, prostein gain, and blepe. Prostein gain means toward the land, toward the land. And this prepositional phrase occurs twice in this paragraph, prostein gain. So we have this phrase one more time. Epeta de ho Diciopolis kai ho Kubernetes prostein gain blepusen. Prostein gain means toward the land. All right, so now let's look at the noun phrases and their verbs. So the first one is tomenun ploion plei. Tomenun ploion plei. The menun, the second and third words are not part of the noun phrase. I just read them because it's easier than separating them out. Tomenun ploion plei. And the noun phrase is to and ploion, which is the ship. Plei is sails. So this means, and so then the ship sails, and we'll see what goes on after that. Hoda zonotemis prostein gain blepe. So the noun phrase is ho zonotemis, and the verb is blepe, and this means zonotemis looks, and zonotemis is a proper name. It does have the article in front, ho, which is a Greek thing. We don't do that in English. We don't say the zenotemis looks, but in Greek that's what you do. Ho de zenotemis prostein gain blepe, and zenotemis looks toward the land. Ti hora hozotemis. We have here a verb hora and hozotemis again. This is a question. The T is a question word, means what. What does zenotemis see? What does zenotemis see? And then we have the answer. It says ha zenotemis hora, and then it gives the answer. Tainte acropolin kai ton partenona, and we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, then we have another noun phrase. It's actually a compound noun, and we have another verb associated with it. Epete de ho dikaopolis kai ho kubernetes prostengen blepusin. The noun phrase is ho dikaopolis kai ho kubernetes. And Decapolis is a proper name, and it does have an article in front of it, which is a little odd, but it says the Decapolis and the Kubernetes, which means the helmsman or the captain. So this means the Decapolis and the captain, blepusin, which is to look, blepusin, and that's a third person plural noun, present tense. And then Decapolis and the captain looked toward the land. And then we have another question, and the question is horosin ho Decapolis kai ho kubernetes. And T again is a question word, what? What horosin, third person plural verb meaning to see, present tense. So what do Decapolis and the captain see? And we have an answer. Kai huko Decapolis, kai ho kubernetes, tain ete acropolent, horosi, kai ton partenona. Ho Decapolis, kai ho kubernetes is simply the noun. Again, we've seen that noun, the noun phrase says Mr. Decapolis, and the captain, horosi, is to look. And the final verb phrase and noun phrase and verb are these: ho de Decapolis kai ho kubernetes sophon akusen. The noun phrase, the subject of this sentence is ho de Decapolis kai ho kubernetes. The te it just means and Mr. Decapolis and the captain, kai means and, akusen. It's a verb, third person plural, present tense, meaning to hear. Akusen, related to the word acoustics in English. Okay, now many of these verbs in these sentences have direct objects, and so we're going to look at the direct objects. And here is one: tain to acropolin kai ton partenona. And we'll recall that the noun phrase and the verb are xenotimes sees, tain to acropolin kai ton partenona. With a little time, you could figure that out. Acropolin is the same word as Acropolis in English, which is a proper name in English, but here it's not a proper name. It means the high place of the city. Acropolin ton Partenona. Partenona is the Parthenon, which is on top of the Acropolis in Athens. Partenona here is a proper noun, and therefore it is capitalized. And then we have the same direct objects, and the answer here is that Decapolis and the captain look or see the Acropolis and the Partenona. Tain te Acropolin kai ton Partenona, exactly the same as we just had. Okay, we have the final direct object in this sentence, and it is Exyphnes hoda Decapolis kai hu kubernetes sophon akusen. Sophon akusen. Sophon akusen. So that means suddenly Decapolis and the captain hear a sound. All right, so we've been introduced to a number of verbs here, and so we're going to start looking at the conjugation of present tense verbs. In English, with the verb to be, it's something like I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, they are. In Greek, our first verb is plei, tomenun ploion plei, and we recall that it says that, and now, and so then, the ship sails. I sail, you sail, plei, the ship sails. We sail, you all sail, they sail. Plei is a third person singular, present tense verb. Our next verb is blepe, And we'll recall that it says, and Xenotemis looks toward the land. Blepe is a third person singular verb, present tense. Hora, it occurs at least twice here, obviously. And this is, remember, we have a question word T. What does Xenotemis see? And then that's the question, and the answer is Xenotemis sees the Acropolis and the Parthenon. Okay, so then we have blepus blepe again, but the first occurrence was third person singular present tense. The second occurrence is blepusin, which is third person plural present tense. And so the endings are different, as you can see. So it says, and then Decapolis and the captain look toward the land. Blepusin, look toward the land. Okay, then we have horosin is horo again, and you can see that we have four instances. The root word is horao, but we have four instances of the verb in this paragraph. You can see them here. Horosin, ti horosin hodikaiopolis kai ho kubernetes. What do Decapolis and the captain see? Horosin. And so we can see that's a third person plural. That it occurs again in the answer to the question, what do they see? And it says the answer to the question, Decapolis and the captain see the Acropolis and the Parthenon. You will notice, though, that the spelling is slightly different between the third person plural verb. One of them has a nu at the end, and one does not. Horosin and horosi. And the explanation for that is that horosi comes just before a vowel ha, Decapolis, and so the nu is added for sounds better. That's the idea there. You can see that the second instance of horosi, horosin, is horosi, and there's no nu there because chi, kappa, is not a vowel and it's not necessary for the sound. Okay, so we have the final verb, akusen, and this is I hear, you hear, he, she, it hears, we hear, you all hear. Akusen, they hear. And so in this context it says, suddenly Decapolis and the captain hear sophon, a sound, as we've seen. Akusen is the verb. Okay, let's read it one more time. Tomenum pleon plei odes Xenotemis prostain gain blepe. Tihara o Xenotemis. Question. O Xenotemis horatain te acropolin kai ton partenona. Epeta de Decapolis kai ho kubernetes prostain gain blepusin. Ti horosin ho Decapolis kai kubernetes. Kai ho Decapolis kai ho kubernetes tainte acropolin horosi ton partenona. Exipnes ho Decapolis kai ho kubernetes sophon akusin. Okay, so I hope you can gather that I'm very interested in your hearing the sounds, but I'm also interested in your saying the sounds. So get that CD, listen to it, and repeat the words, or you can repeat after me. But it's very, very important to listen to the sounds. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to doing the next video, lesson 3, and we'll move on perhaps to some of the exercises and the extra materials which accompany this text. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.